All right, so now we're going to go into the next part of the exercise, which is using these Sil Fos 15% Sil Fos rings. All right, now these are something new on the market. When you go to the trade shows and stuff, they'll have them. You can see it, you can check it out. Again, we have our toolbox with our tools. You'll need to make a swedge on one piece. All right, and then take your sandpaper and clean the other edge. Now I'm just using scrap out of here, and you're more than welcome to do the same. All right, to save time, save some energy and some money on the cost of this material. Now, in here, we want you to make sure that you do it to standards. Now, the standard is to be sure your copper is clean, because you can't not, especially in soldering. Brazing is a little bit forgiving, but solder is not. So, what I want to do is, you notice I wear my gloves most of the time, but there's certain times, like trying to pick up a dime here, that I ain't not going to be able to do it. So you have your swedge point, and you drop it in so it's flat against the bottom. All right? Take your other male piece and slide it in until it makes contact with the Sil Fos ring. Now, you get these Sil Fos rings from the instructor staff, and we'll give them to you. And you can do this several times. It just depends on how you feel and how when you cut it open, how does it look, all right? So now we're going to take ours over to the workstation and set it up. Since we're just doing a simple piece, we won't need to put it in our upper vise or anything like this, unless the instructor requests that you do that just for general purposes. Now, this is that U or V shape, the V shape tip. Again, it still belongs on the small tip, or a small handle, the B handle. So again, same process. Because you're brazing, you need your helmet. Again, the fan is off, or the exhaust fan is off, because we want to be sure that you understand what we're trying to do here. All right, but you be sure that it's turned on. We are going to start with our gas. Open it up. Now that's too much. See how? Remember, just regular torches, there, like that. And then you walk it out slowly until you get rid of the soot. All right? Now you have your oxygen. All right, until you get your tip design. Take your brazing rod, lower down your shield. Get an idea where you're going to be working at. Drop your hood and bring it in. Now this is kind of nice when you're up in that attic. Remember what we were talking about? You don't want 10 tons of heat, but you don't want it real hot either. All right, so you just want to pull back. If I want that rod just to melt, I just use a little bit of finesse. Again, I want to look at my braze joint. You see how I have that nice cap on there? That's what you're looking for. Now again, don't worry about the oxidation. That will go away when you do it with nitrogen. Make sure you got a good grip on your pipe. And then let her go. Now, at this point in the game, you're going to have to cut it open, all right? Just like any other braze joint that you were taught. Cut it off, come down in force, and then peel it back. You've already been taught that, so you already know what we're talking about on that aspect. All right, now that's just another little tool. It really works nice on anything up to about 3/4 of an inch. All right, it just depends on where you're using the equipment at. All right, don't ever overestimate this stuff. It does not take long, especially when you find out when you're working with that 4-inch and the 2-inch hook. There's a lot of heat coming out of that baby. Okay, so be very careful. So now we shut down our gauges, and remember, this is brass to brass. Don't sit there and crank on this thing. All right, they're very expensive. They run about $200 a cup handle. So now you are done with this portion of the lab up to this point. All right, when you leave this station, we need to ensure that you put this equipment back to the way you found it. All right, so again, be sure that you take it off correctly, clean it up. It goes in our black box. It's marked 106. You'll see it. All right. Show all your work to your instructor. If you need to do it a couple more times, and take the scrap and just add on. All right. Remember, this is the only time you're going to get to practice. When you leave here, they're going to expect you to know what you're doing. So if you want to do it and get done real quick, then that's your prerogative. But remember, you're selling the school, the program, and we are not going to allow you to just slide through thinking that you can do it one time and that's it. All right? Make sure your area is cleaned up, your water is dumped when you leave, all your equipment, rods and everything are put back, and the place is ready to go for the next student, which very easily could be you. All right? Again, thank you for your time, patience, paying attention. Remember, close your valves off, drain the system, take apart the system, put the old head back on. All right? Thank you.